let's take a look at our top selections. Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at race number 9 at Churchill Downs on Saturday. Let's toss up the field for the Grade 2 Goldenrod Stakes. 2-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 on the dirt. Remember to head on over to DRF.com, more specifically shop.drf.com, for the latest Black Friday sales available for all of your latest handicapping products. This race features Simply Ravishing, who's the horse to beat and the even money favorite on the morning line. She's already a Grade 1 stakes winner in the Alcibiades, and she's just been a very versatile horse throughout her career. It doesn't matter distance or surface. She's won sprinting, she's won going long, she's won on the turf, she's won on the dirt. And as we throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector, you'll note that Simply Ravishing is not expected to be on the early lead, and that's okay, because this is a red bar fast-paced scenario, and I believe that Simply Ravishing is going to be just as effective from off of the pace. We'll talk more about her trouble when we get to her. We'll discuss this field in post-position order. Let's take a look at the number 1, Lady Lily's most recent race, an optional claiming victory at Keeneland. She's won 2 of 3 starts. Perhaps most notably, this race was her first start around 2 turns, and she seemed to appreciate it. She got up close to a solid pace, and she's going to be very game to win this race by a nose. Maybe not the strongest field in the world. She only earned a 61 Beyer speed figure, and the 7th place finisher returned to finish second in a non-winners of 2 life with a 62 Beyer speed figure in an off-the-turf race. Lady Lily has good tactical speed for Steve Asmussen, and Timeform US believes she's going to be close to the pace. I think she will take advantage of that inside post and be close as well. Here's the number 2, No Mo Spending, a New York bred stretching out for the first time. Daughter of Uncle Mo, she's bred to handle the distance. Let's watch her race in the Joseph Ajima last time out at Belmont. She got up close to a nice moderate pace in this spot, and she's going to have to work very, very hard to win with a 68 Beyer speed figure. Now, Ian Wilkes likes to take his time with his 2-year-olds. I think it's a good sign that this filly is going the right way. I think she's going to benefit with experience and distance. And while Timeform US doesn't have her among the top 3 in your early pace projections, she can be close to this pace. I think she's going to be, sitting a decent trip in the second flight. No Mo Spending looked good 2 starts back, winning her maiden at Saratoga, and there's quite a bit of upside potential considering her pedigree. The number 3 is Coach, and she's a lifetime 3 for 3, 3 dominating victories, 2 sprinting in Indiana Grand, but then she kind of passed the class quiz, didn't she? Last time out in the Rags to Riches Stakes. She has a very versatile running style. That Rags to Riches at Churchill Downs, she got right up close to the pace. She drove on by to beat Lady Traveler, who's in here. She's earned 2 respectable Beyer speed figures for Brad Cox, a sensational trainer, and she is bred to go long. She's already proven she can handle 1 1/16 at Churchill Downs, and perhaps she's an interesting price contender. The 4 is Far-Sighted, going out for Rusty Arnold, daughter of Bernardini. I think she's going to be okay, stretching out around 2 turns for the first time. She exits this race at Keeneland sprinting on the Breeders' Cup undercard, one of the races on the Breeders' Cup undercard. Songbird Stakes, she finishes second behind Joy's Rocket. She was pressing a fast pace while outside early. Timeform US believes she's going to be on the lead. I tend to agree. I think Lady Lily will yield to Far-Sighted, and Far-Sighted has a chance, considering her pedigree, perhaps to take these gate to wire. That was a good effort last time out, and an improved Beyer speed figure. The 5 is Travelcom, also going out for Brad Cox, as is the 3 Coach, and I really like the way Travelcom won her debut sprinting at Churchill Downs. It was the faster division of maiden special weights for 2-year-old fillies, going 6 furlongs that day. She pushed the pace on the outside, took over in the upper stretch, and just drove away by open lengths with a 73 Beyer. Now, she ran on the Alcibiades in only her 2nd lifetime start, stretching out in distance and facing Simply Ravishing. And I just don't think circumstances worked to her advantage in that race. She didn't break very well. She was expected to be close to the pace. Once she was off slow, she had to get some lessons. She took some dirt while saving ground in behind the pace. Simply Ravishing got away with an easy lead that day. Travelcom eased to the outside and was sort of one-paced in the stretch. But I think she learned a lot from that effort. And if she breaks here, I think she's going to benefit if the pace is fast by tucking in the second flight. Travelcom, the number 5, will learn about distance. I think that's a great unknown for her, going 1 1/16. She looked good sprinting. The finish wasn't there, going 1 1/16. But I think that learning experience, and at 5-1 on the morning line, it seems like a fair price. Clairiere is the number 6, and she was the only first-time starter in a big field of maidens going 2 turns on October the 25th, and she looked good winning that race from well off of the pace. She has a lovely pedigree. She's by Curl, and you remember her dam cavorting. I believe she won both the test and the personal ensign at at Saratoga, and Clarier earned a respectable 74 Beyer speed figure first time out for Steve Asmussen, and she's going to appreciate the fast pace up front. This filly has a tremendous amount of upside potential. Lady Traveler was second behind Coach last time out. She ran well in her first start around 2 turns. She's likely going to have to improve here at 20-1 for Corey Lannery. Perhaps she'll get the right pace set up. She was a gate-to-wire winner 2 starts back at Churchill Downs, albeit in slow time. The 8 is simply ravishing, and she just has all the fast races on her page. The aforementioned Alcibiades, yes, she had a lovely candy trip on the lead that day, but she also finished it off very nicely, and she did not have an easy trip. In the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, she did not break well from the inside post. She took a bad bobble, and that cost her an opportunity to get into a forward position, perhaps even on the lead. She ended up down inside and in between and in among horses on the back stretch, in behind horses turning into the stretch. There was traffic for her again in the lane, and she was only beaten 2 lengths by some of the best 2-year-old fillies in the country. She is simply the horse to beat in this race. She probably works out an outside stalking trip, and if she fires, she probably is too good for them, but she's going to be a depressed price. Princess Theorem is the number 9. Nice performance for this daughter of Nyquist. Last time out at Churchill Downs, she won an off-the-turf race, and she did it with good tactical speed. She sat off the pace. She really sprinted on home. Now, obviously, she's going to be facing much tougher competition, but I like the way she won that race. Brendan Walsh showing a lot of confidence, stepping her up in class here, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of trip is expected. The pace is going to be fast, faster than what she saw certainly in her maiden win. Can she come from a little bit farther out of it? Maybe she's a horse that you can use to liven up your exotics. 10-1 on the morning line. Alexandria completes this field. Let's watch her most recent race, dropping back in class at Mahoning Valley against Ohio-bred competition over a muddy track. She was 1-10 in this race. She won like a 1-10 shot should. She's simply too good for these horses. Her prior effort in the Pocahontas, she ran into 2 very good juvenile fillies in Girl Daddy and Crazy Beautiful, and she was not embarrassed at all. This is a filly that started her career with 3 big victories sprinting in Ohio. It was nice to see last time out that she could handle the 2 turns and a bit of adversity. This is not an easy outside post position, but she's just not your typical Ohio bred coming in here taking a chance. She proved her worth 2 starts back, and she's going to be a fair price. We take a look at my top selections for the Goldenrod Stakes, and of course I respect Simply Ravishing, but I'm curious to see if Travelcom can turn the tables on her. Simply Ravishing has already had a long year. Maybe she bounces a little bit off that demanding effort in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies where she had trouble. Travelcom skipped the Breeders' Cup. She's coming into this race relatively fresh, and again, it was a good learning experience last time out in the Alcibiades. Off slow, getting dirt in her face, and trying to finish up. I think those are the 2 for me. In the Grade 2 Goldenrod, a better price on Travelcom. One of 2 stakes races at Churchill Downs on Saturday is the Goldenrod. Approximate post time, 4:57 Eastern. Best of luck.